Hey, good afternoon. Yeah, obviously it was homecoming and played a very, very tough Morgan State opponent. And, we knew going in since last year, when we struggled with them last year, they were a very good physical football team with an outstanding defense. But I thought guys came in with great energy. The crowd was behind us, and it was electrifying in the stadium. But I thought our guys fought, and we knew it was going to be a 60-minute game. Offensively, we were able to get the established to run and get that going. Jamari Taylor led the way with that, with almost 200 yards. And again, the offensive line played well. Defensively, it was good to see we got my man Thomas Johnson back. He had been out all season, and he led the charge defensively. He had 3 sacks, and the D-line continued to improve. Jaden Taylor, Jacob Bavard at linebacker position played outstanding. That was probably one of the most physical games I've seen here in a couple of years. But and then kicking game, we preached all week about having to win the kicking game. Juan Velarde had a 59-yard average, and he flipped the field several times for us, which got the defense kept the defense from being in a bad situation. We did get a roughing the punter, which killed us, and then another dumb penalty also. But overall, it was good. It was a great win for the program and for the university. A lot of happy alum out there, and looking forward to next week against a very good South Carolina State team.
Good to see you again, Coach. I wanted to ask you about pulling out a win like that. The last, I want to say 4, maybe 5 have been by 25 or more. And what does it mean, and how good is it to get a tight win like that to keep you guys frosting?
Much rather prefer those 25 and 30-point wins. But I think that's why I'm getting all this gray down here now. But no, it's good. Sometimes you have to be tested, and that'll test the character and the culture of your team and program. So you're gonna have those games, whether it's early in the season or late in the season, and it's good for us to go and experience now and be able to pull one out. But it was really good to see, with us being such a young team, those guys having that thermostat mentality that we talk about, not getting too excited when we make plays, and not pounding or dropping the head when something doesn't work for us. But it was a rough one, man. That was a dogfight. That was a dogfight, and I'm sure the fans enjoyed it. They got their money's worth, because that was a great game.
We had them hanging in there till the end, and I wanted to ask you about your thoughts on the South Carolina State team. They put up the points, needless to say. You can see that in every game they played. Is there any squad comparable that you can look back on and see if they maybe prepared you for it? Because I don't think Morgan State really is a one-to-one comparison with this crew. Is there any other squad that comes close to what you're about to see here on Halloween?
Yeah, I see them every day. It's like looking in the mirror, honestly. But I think both the teams are built the same way. We have very athletic and active, I guess you could say, defenses. Both of our defensive lines are very athletic and twitchy. They move really well up front. And then offensively, they have a very good quarterback like Walker Harris. He's a dual threat guy, more of a dual threat guy. They have very good receivers. And, we see it every day in practice with our skill positions. And I always talk about how fast our receivers are. But they've got 4 receivers that can flat out play. And it's probably the best receiver corps we've seen all year. So it's going to be fun, man. And, our staffs are obviously, we have a great relationship. We were together, the head coach and myself were together at Southern University. He was the offensive coordinator. I was the defensive coordinator. So we've had a lot of history, and we're really good friends. And I'm really, really looking forward to this matchup. It's going to be a great and competitive game.
Going more into that South Carolina State matchup here, like it feels very much like it's a strength versus strength type game where, your all's that offensive success matches up with their defensive success. Your defensive success matches up with their offensive success. How do you approach a game when it, on paper at least, it looks very much like it is going to be a clash on Thursday?
Schematically and game plan wise, we have to be able to try to take advantage of things they give us, and then obviously you have to keep it as simple where our guys can play and they're not doing a lot of thinking. So we'll come up with a great game plan and try to minimize any new installs and all that stuff. But at the same time, we're gonna have a couple wrinkles, like I know that they will. So it's going to be big for the coaches once we figure out what they're trying to do. I said this a couple weeks ago. in-game adjustments going to be so big. So once we see the new stuff they're trying to attack us with, we got to be able to adjust and stop it. If you don't stop it, they're going to keep running for the rest of the game. So we got to do a great job communicating as a staff about what we see and making in-game adjustments. And at the same time, keeping the game plan simple enough so the guys can just flat out play. We got plenty of talent on this team, and we don't have to make the perfect call every play. You know, the guys can get a coach out of a bad call with athletic ability. So it's going to be a team effort between players, coaches, and everybody. We got to bring A game.
And now that it's, you know, in the thick of conference play here, how, I mean, I know it's 1 week at a time, but how do you feel about where this team is now that it is kind of, you know, this is where the MEAC comes down to?
Oh, I love this football team because coming in, I knew we were talented. A lot of naysayers out there saying that we lost a quarterback and a running back and all these other guys that we lost and they're not coming back. So I knew we were talented. We were just very young. To see us improve the way we have every week is a testament to my coaches first and foremost. And then these guys have just bought in. And the young guys have grown tremendously. Defensively, we couldn't stop water in the run game, you know. But the last 3 weeks, we've been rolling. And you've seen a huge, I'll say probably defense as a whole, huge improvements week to week. This past week, I think Morgan might have 6 yards rushing in the first quarter and ended up with right at 100. But it's just really good. Now, so we always talk about, let's get a little bit better every week. And when you're seeing that, you know you're trending in the right direction.
I know Caleb made his first field goal. Is Juan doing okay? Was there any kind of injury situation with him, or did you just want to see Caleb get some reps? What was going on there?
No, I don't want to just see people get reps. No, Juan did suffer a minor injury. We hit one ball low. They blocked a field goal, and I thought Caleb gave us a better chance moving throughout the game. So Caleb did finish up with the field goal and punting duty. And you know, hats off to K-Rob. Caleb, he's been kicking the ball, you know, deep in the end zone on kickoffs, and has a very strong leg for a true freshman. So, you know, it's a blessing to have him. The best part of kickoff coverage, the best that you can have is a good kicker. And we found us one. So I'm really happy to have him here in the program. And I am expecting Juan to be back this week.
It seems like you guys really have a confidence, a poise when you guys hit that red zone. Where does that confidence come from?
I think it's about preparation. You know, guys understand we put these guys in situations every day, things that you're going to see throughout the game. So very little will happen Saturday that we have not practiced and prepared for. So, you know, whenever we're in the red zone, depending whether it's right hash, left hash, they already know what plays are going to be called. We have a very small menu, and the menu will change week to week, but they know, okay, when we get here in this situation, these are the 3 plays we're probably going to call. Next week, those 3 plays might change, but we don't have a huge catalog and like a phone book and just trying to dial up something. So our coaching staff does a really good job. Coach Leone with the offense does a great job of having those guys prepared with those situations. But I would like to have seen us do a little bit better in the red zone this weekend. We left some points out there.
Talking about the South Carolina State game, it seems like they love to set up everything off that run. What's your plan to stop the run without, you know, telling us your game plan? What's your, you know, idea of stopping the run? And yeah.
That's it. I got a perfect answer for you, Lawrence. The things that we talk about would be great. You know, first of all, you got to have belief that we're going to win this football game. Then from there, you got to have grit, be relentless with our effort, great attitude, and being tough. So all those things that we talk about, we've got to see that on Thursday night.
With your linebacker core with Max and Ja'Kai, they've really been stepping up, hitting hard. How big will they be this weekend, you know, in this matchup?
Ja'Kai and Max are our leaders on defense on that second level, the linebacker core. And they do a great job of getting everybody lined up from the defensive line all the way to our defensive backs. But they are so consistent, man, and they feed off each other. And it's really good to see how those guys have grown. Max coming here as a true walk-on a couple of years back, and now turning into the player that he is today is unbelievable, man. And they're a joy to coach. Ja'Kai and Max both, you know, great friends and great culture guys, great program guys.
Just had a question about a short week here. Usually you get a couple more days to install, go over a few things. How does that help, or how does it hurt or help really sometimes because you don't have that extra time to think to get ready for these guys on a Thursday there, Coach?
Well, we try to plan out everything. So when we saw the schedule drop in this summer, and we knew the game was going to be on Thursday night, the game planning was done this summer. Obviously now we'll look at these last 4 or 5 games and make sure that everything that we were planning for is still there. But a lot of this stuff is done in the off season. Now, obviously, we'll go back and look at our scouting report, the preliminary scouting report, and see what they're doing now and see if it still holds up. We will not change a whole lot of what we do. Whatever you've seen us do all 8 weeks, we're going to do it Thursday night. It's not a whole lot of tricks and all that stuff. I think one thing that you can do is try to do too much. You have a short week. You're not going to have a lot of time to get a lot of reps behind a lot of things. So let's do what we do well. And I think that we have a really good football team. So man for man, I like my football team.
We know how good Jamari is, but this past week, I think he touched the ball 31 times, 26 on the ground, 5 just catches. What is it like to have someone in the backfield like that you can just lean on and chew up clock, make plays, just do everything you would need from a running back?
He only touched 31. I need to go have a talk with Coach Leone. We need to try to up that a little bit. But no, he again, it's about getting a rhythm and getting your football players the ball. They had some really good. Their defense line was outstanding. That defensive end they had number 0 is probably going to be player of the year in the conference. So, we had to try to get the ball to the back out of the backfield and pick and choose when we took our shots up top. Obviously, quick hit them up top on a long pass. But you can't be sitting back there all day holding the football against a really good defensive line like that. So we were able to get the running game going. And, he's gotten a lot better with his patience. Jamar is now a little more patient. And once he sees it, he hits it. Before, he was trying to hit a home run every play. Every play you're not going to hit a 60, 70 yarder. It's okay to get a 2 or 3 yarder. And, those big runs and explosive plays will come later. But like they say, man, as long as you're getting profit, you never go broke. So we'll take positive yards.
Yeah, I just want to start off by saying I want to give all glory to God. Thank you for me being healthy and being able to play.
That's a great way to start. It should be a great way to. It should be every morning there, but I appreciate that. Let me ask you about getting back into this. But just the second time you took the field here, it feels like you're getting a lot more comfortable out there from your stats. How do you feel out there now, getting back after this? Your second game, just you played.
Feel great. It's a blessing to be out there with my guys.
Is it starting to come a little bit easier to you? It didn't seem like the first time you were out there. It seemed like you were thinking a little bit. It seemed like this last game you were more reading and reacting. Am I wrong in that?
No, you're not. I was just flowing. Yeah, I was just flowing. Just comfortable, very comfortable.
It definitely seemed like it out there from the plays you were making. And I wanted to ask you, I asked Coach too, these 20 and 30-point wins definitely make you feel good, and it lets you to relax a little bit. How nice is it to have one where you had to gut out a win, a tight win against a Morgan State team, and how will that help you moving forward?
I like the way our defense fought and finished. Coaches were able to see that we can strain, and we're just ready to play under any circumstance.
You're about to play a squad that can light up a scoreboard here, put up a lot of points. How do you go about the business of trying to stop somebody like that? Do you try to overdo, or do you just double down on what you already know?
Double down on what you already know. That's about it. Just keep playing how we've been playing. In my opinion, just double down what we already know and play well.
How difficult was it for you to have to sit back and watch, and how nice is it for you now to be able to get back into the swing of things as you're really getting into the meat of MEAC play?
It's great. See, most people, they tell you to be selfish in situations like this and sit out and take your time to recover. But these are some of my closest friends. They last year, and just meant a lot for me to come out and play with them.
Why is this group of guys that you're with, why are they so important to you? Why put yourself in a position to rush back and get on the field with them again?
2022, when we won the national championship, it's only a select few guys still here. And every day I keep on looking around, like in the weight room, we'll clap it up and then we'll get ready to leave. I look around, I only see like 1, 2, 3 people in my group that I work out with that was with me back then. And I just try to do it for them.
You know, you and South Carolina State are the only teams that are perfect in conference play so far. So you're probably going to have to, you know, go through them in order to get this opportunity again in the Celebration Bowl. Yeah, I know it's one game at a time, but
Yes,
does
sir.
the gravity of this conference play now, is it something that's starting to sit with the team, understanding what's in front of them?
Preparation not going to change. We're going to prepare like champions and do what we do every week.
Winning big is easy and fun, and you definitely want to blow teams out. But how much confidence, how much help, if at any, does it bring to be able to gut out a tough, close win like you guys just had over Morgan State for you all?
To me, it brings a lot of confidence because I feel like we have a tough team, and it just shows we could pull out a victory in any situation.
Definitely winning multiple ways is always helpful. You're going to need that here. And I wanted to ask you about this squad you got coming up. Obviously, they can put up some points, but no slouch on defense either. Is there anything special or different or new that you guys are thinking about breaking out or trying to, or is it just dotting I's and crossing T's, doing what you do well coming in here on Thursday night?
You know, I think the game plan is just keep things simple and execute. And yeah, with the short week, just keeping things simple and playing fast and executing.
I know that in the beginning of the year it was a little bit of a little small issues here and there with being on the same page, but the last 4 games especially, man, it looks like you guys are reading each other's mind out on the field. How much easier, how much better a flow is it on offense for you all, especially you with your connection with Walker?
It just takes being locked in practice and just coming together and executing. But it starts in practice, executing and practicing and carrying it over to the game.
No problems with the short week, right? I mean, I know that they've got the plan laid out for you and everything, but it's not a Saturday. How much of a difference does that make for you and your teammates to go on a Thursday night?
You know, it makes a difference from the turnaround from Saturday and coming back and practicing Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. It's just a quick turnaround. But I think the guys will be ready and well rested for the game on Thursday.
South Carolina State, what have you all noticed they do well? You know, you're both undefeated in MEAC play so far. It feels like in almost every statistical category, it's like you all 1 and 2 in some order or 2 and 3 in some order. What do they do so well, and what are you ready for come Thursday?
You know, we haven't really watched much yet, but like what we have watched is they play fast and physical, and we just got to match their intensity or make them match our intensity. We just got to start fast. And like coaches say, it's not about them, it's about us. So we just got to keep that mindset and execute.
Is there a mentality shift when you get to the portion of the schedule like this at the end of the year where it's, you know, conference game after conference game after conference game?
The goal every week is just go 1-0 in conference play. We can't lose in conference play, so we just got to go 1-0 every week.
And I wanted to ask about one of your teammates, Jamari Taylor. He got, I think it was 31 touches on Saturday. What have you seen from him this year, just as he takes so much responsibility on this offense?
Yeah. What I've seen from him is basically he's just taking over. Basically, that's what I'm getting from him. But he does a good job of leading us and communicating with us and just keeping us going. And I feed off of him. Like when I see him going, that gets me going. And I think that gets the rest of the team going. So he plays a major part in our offense and majority of our team.